Creativity, like police, work thrives on revision. We chase a messy first draft of truth, follow the stains, and rewrite until motive finally fits the room. Charles Muscatello's draft ends where all bad copies do. He pled guilty on the 21st of June 2018 and drew life with parole possible after 20 years. His fatal errors: mistaking chaos for cover, romance for refuge, and laughter for absolution. Rachel avoids charges by calling his confession unbelievable, a convenient faith, but effective.
Charlie's lied so many times about things that's happened to him. Like, you never know when to believe him, you know?
Your wife didn't help you out in any way? Didn't ask you, did she even know that you had bloody clothes, or did she know anything about this at all?
Yes. The lesson is darkly simple. You can't launder intent with hot water, nor outsource conscience to the person who loves you least. Says anything, it's that stories outlive storytellers, and evidence is a better editor than any alibi. Subscribe for more interrogations where psychology meets procedure. Drop your questions below and share this with someone who thinks secrets are safe until the tape starts rolling. He laughed about killing.
Can you do a welfare check on the number 401? You're just going to check on Maurice Goins. He has not been seen or heard from in a week.
She laughed about hearing it, and between them, a man lay stabbed more than 20 times in a Lakewood apartment. This isn't television, it's a real interrogation where silence, denial, and nervous laughter tell a story the evidence refuses to hide. In this video, we're pulling apart the disturbing case of Charles and Rachel Muscatello, a husband who confessed too late, and a wife whose calm reaction raised even darker questions. You'll see how detectives unraveled a year-long cold case, how forensic science turned a cane and a trail of hot water into testimony, and how lies collapse when weighed against bloodstains and timelines. But beneath the details of drugs, deceit, and dependency, there's something bigger: what happens when a relationship becomes both an alibi and a sentence. Stay with me as we step inside the interrogation room, because the truth isn't just about who held the knife, but who stayed quiet while it was used. This is not fiction, and by the end, you'll see why.
I'm sure you have a zillion questions, and I have a couple questions for you. So, long and the short of it is, Charles, are you and Charles like legally married?
Yes,
Okay.
we are legally married.
You're just separated at the moment?
Yeah, but not legally separated.
That's fine. I mean, you're just not living together right now. Okay. Well, Charles is under arrest, and he's currently charged with murder. In all honesty, I don't know what, that's just what he's charged with at the moment. He has to be indicted and all that other stuff. I mean, there might be more charges, less charges, not as serious charges. It all depends on what the grand jury and the grand jury prosecutor ends up charging him with. But as of right now, he's charged with the death of Maurice Goins.
Nearly a year later, whispers finally surfaced. Charles Muscatello, a man with a cane and a talent for lies, bragged about killing. When police knocked on Rachel's door, her composure was chilling. No gasps, no tears, just a woman unloading years of resentment. She painted her husband as a thief, a liar, a drug addict. Yet that calm mask made detectives wonder, was she merely relieved he was caught, or was she hiding how deep she'd already been pulled into his chaos?
We have DNA evidence, cameras. I mean, this is almost a year-long investigation that we've done. So it's not like we just randomly came upon him. So, after our investigation led to this, and then led to us arresting him. And I just want, I could tell by the phone conversation that at some point he has told you about this, and it seemed to me that you didn't actually believe it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's been so many times that my husband,
His
like,
life
there's,
about things. Okay.
yeah, like, I mean, there's even police reports about, like, he would come home and, like, he sold our son's dog. This was when he was using,
Okay.
to somebody across the street from us. And I didn't know to hear this person end up being a drug dealer as well. So Charlie ended up selling my son's dog, which was like a little pit bull. She was a full breeder, a full bred, and for drugs. He came home and said that somebody robbed him for that dog. And he had like scuff marks all over his face, and bleeding and stuff. And said that, he got robbed for the dog. He got jumped by a couple dudes, whatever, this and that. So I called the cops, and here all this time, I ended up finding out later on that he hurt himself
Just to make it look
that way. And when the cops came, because I ended up getting the dog back, when the cops came and the other guy told his side of the story that Charlie did, try selling the dog, sold the dog to him or whatnot, and that it wasn't stolen or nothing like that. Like the cops were like really upset. Like there's an actual police report about it. So my son ended up getting his dog back, and then there's other times too, where Charlie would take things out of the house or just have money or something like that, and he'd say, oh, well, I did this or this happened to me. You know what I mean? Charlie's a liar, so, he's not a violent person.
Sure.
Yesterday was the first time that we actually, that I've seen him before he got arrested, because I've been, at the point where I was going to make a police report and file for, some type of restraining order, but I didn't. Because the last time that we had seen each other, which was on 117th in Detroit, I went to go meet him.
Hello.
Hello.
This is my father, Rachel.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I went to go meet him, and he said he had money to give me for the girls, for our daughters. And when I went to go meet him, but at this point we're not together, so he started making accusations. Oh, well, where's your new boyfriend? This and that, and so on and so on. So he started to get a little frisky with me. And it left bruises on my arms, which is, I do have pictures of it. My counselor knows about it, this and that. So at that point in time, I'm like, okay, I told him, I said, I don't want nothing to do with you anymore.
Okay.
And this was about, I want to say maybe 2 months ago.
Or did he first mention this?
I don't know, I want to say a few months back.
Okay.
But like I said, I didn't believe anything that he had to say, because
Could you kind of tell us what he kind of said?
the only thing that he said is he thinks that he killed somebody.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, right. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's like, oh, I got jumped. He got into a physical altercation with somebody, and that was it. Charlie's lied so many times about things that's happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
You never know when to believe him, So, other than that.
So basically he just, in passing, said, oh, I might have killed somebody, but never any details to it.
No.
Okay.
No.
And then yesterday, when he was telling you why he was here, you kind of...
Yeah, because he said something about a cane over the phone.
Right.
And there was...
TV.
The TV, the TV thing, I kind of blew my mind, because I don't even remember anything about any type of TV.
Then came the cane. Left at the scene, it tethered Charles to the crime as tightly as handcuffs. Rachel admitted he once muttered about killing someone, but she dismissed it just another lie among thousands. Still, every denial sounded rehearsed, every shrug a little too casual. In interrogation rooms, truth rarely crashes in with fanfare. It creeps, brick by brick, until even silence feels guilty. And Rachel's silence was louder than any confession.
Basically, your only real knowledge of the... Let me just be blunt with you.
Mm-hmm.
At any time did Charles come home with bloody clothes and you
No.
gave him a change of clothes?
No.
Threw the other
I would have
clothes
freaked out if that was the case.
Okay.
Seriously, because I've never seen something like that in real life. Somebody coming up to me with blood all over him and stuff like that, but no.
Okay.
And he would have been covered.
Yeah, no. The only times I've ever seen Charlie, like I said, is if he hurt himself and gave you the lie about, this happening to him, this and that. But it was never
Do
to
you
that
remember
extent.
him around that time having a cut on his hand?
This would have been the time where the cane was missing.
Of the eclipse and George's passing.
To be totally honest with you, no. I don't remember.
You don't remember, or you...
I don't remember
Okay.
seeing a cut on his hand. I don't remember,
Okay.
for sure. Because he always gets hurt too, though, So I really don't know.
Okay. So really the only knowledge you have of this is just kind of him saying to you that he
Right.
might have killed somebody. And you just kind of yeah, whatever.
Yeah, because, like I said,
Right.
he doesn't seem like I mean, honestly, I'm still having a hard time believing, like processing.
Sure, I completely understand that.
Because like I said, he's not a violent person.
Yeah, well, I mean,
but he does have a short temper, and with his drug problems. That's another reason why we're not together.
Yeah.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Sure.
Based on, I'm not going to say the evidence or this and that, but based on, I watch a lot of Law and Order, so based on like the way, did it look, was it like a violent type?
Extremely. The entire apartment was covered in blood.
Rachel laughs while sketching her husband as a cartoon villain, short fuse, long habit. It's the kind of gallows humor you hear when relief outruns grief. In Lakewood's cramped interview room, that laugh lands like a clue. She's not shocked, she's unburdened. The detectives let the silence breathe. Laughter, after all, is the body's cheapest lie detector. It spikes when the truth gets too close to touch.
To your knowledge, Charles has one thing that he mainly uses, like he mainly uses crack, but he has no problem doing other stuff if it's available, or is he just strictly a crack guy?
No, it's other stuff. I'm not gonna lie. Like back in 2012 when I first got clean myself, like that was my first. I was addicted to Percocets, pain pills, and we were abusing them together.
Okay.
And then I went and that lasted like 3 years. And then I went and put myself, like I don't have no criminal backgrounds. I've never been told, oh, you got to go to drug court, all other stuff. Like I put myself into rehab, in 2012. And, but that whole entire time, like me and Charlie, we were together for 11 years. That whole time he's been doing crack, like off and on, like, but his has progressed.
Tell you what this is about before you make your decision whether you want to talk with us or not. Obviously, we want to talk to you. We have some questions, and a lot of what we talk about has to do with how we're proceeding with other people involved in this, including your wife. So the long and the short of why you are here, I can tell you in
I'm going to keep it real. You already know because I can tell by the way you're looking at me. You keep looking at me.
No, I keep looking at both of you guys.
I have a warrant for your arrest for murder.
No.
You had to know eventually this was coming.
Murder, I understand.
Well, we'll explain it.
No, you explain it to me.
We will.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
I know that guy.
Who is it?
I don't know his name right offhand.
You don't know his name?
No.
you don't know his name?
No, because he did favors for each other before.
Okay. So all we have is a certain amount of information, and that a certain amount of information we have, cameras, DNA, video footage of people coming in and out, so forth like that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you're sitting here. Okay.
All right.
If there's more to it, now's the time that we want to get this in the open. Okay. If there's something more that I need to know, now's the time. Okay. So that being said, do you want to discuss this and give me your side of what occurred here?
All I did was ever just show favors for this guy. Me and the guy that you just had in the car too.
Enter Charles, restless eyes, a vagabond biography, and the kind of memory that forgets names but remembers alibis. He tries the classic smokescreen, my DNA is everywhere, as if presence explains patterns. But science is a stubborn witness. Blood tells direction, pressure, intention. His cane already speaks louder than he does. What he calls coincidence, the lab calls choreography.
So you've been in his apartment, correct?
Yes, sir. I'm not gonna lie about that.
Okay.
1,000 times probably.
Okay.
So you would know his name.
I know it's like Maurice or something like that. I don't know his last name or anything.
That's
Okay. Well, you know him as Maurice.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, me and a few other guys went over there and he gave us crack. for
Okay.
sexual papers. My DNA is probably all over that place.
Not in the places
Well,
where it should have.
not in the places where it shouldn't be.
We have enough evidence, obviously, to have gotten an arrest warrant for you that shows you committed a homicide. That's why there's an arrest warrant for it. But it tells one side of a story, the evidence that we have. The side that it doesn't tell is the side of the person that's still alive that can tell the side of what happened, what led up to it, and why it happened. I got to believe that this is weighed on you like a ton of bricks. And I've got to believe that over this time period, Charles, you probably have been feeling like you're drowning, okay? Trying to get this off your chest. But the only way to do it is to now come clean about it. I could see it on your face.
When detectives press, Charles reaches for self-defense, one quick stab, a panicked exit. It's the fairy tale version of a crime scene that wore out 2 pairs of latex gloves. 20 wounds don't negotiate, backs don't sprout knives. He talks about poker hands and luck, but homicide isn't Vegas. The house keeps receipts, videos, witnesses, DNA, each chip sliding to the center of the table with his name on it.
How can you tell somebody they've been touched and not,
Do you play cards?
yes.
You've played cards. You play, poker, right? Do you show people your hand when you got a good hand? No. All right. A judge and prosecutors saw what we have and said, that's enough. Okay. I'm not going to show you everything. All right. But you have to understand from what he said, video, DNA, witness statements. This is a year in the making. It took that long to put it together. It takes the lab that long to put things together too when they're doing testing. It's just the way it is.
She had
Okay?
nothing to do with it.
And here it is, Rachel's name brought into the spotlight, not by the detectives, but straight from Charles himself. No one even hinted at her, yet he rushes to shield her, insisting she knew nothing. But looking closer, this might not just be protection. It could be Charles' classic double-cross move disguised as devotion.
Listen, okay, then you can discuss that if our facts are wrong.
See,
on
we
this.
have information that she, obviously there was a lot of at this scene, okay? And you have to get rid of your clothes.
Yeah, I did it there.
All right.
All right, so let's go back. So since you're getting this on the table, I did it there. Let's start from the beginning.
He invited me over.
Okay, in what way? Explain, how did he invite
called
you?
me.
He called you on the phone.
Yes, sir.
What phone did he call?
He called my cell phone, which I don't have that phone no more.
Which phone was
But
it?
what was the number?
Do you
Do you remember?
I can't remember the number on that phone because I've been through so many phones.
Was this at night, during the day?
It was during the day.
Do you remember what day of the week? I know it's a long time ago, but just asking if you do. If you don't, you don't.
I don't remember. I know it was around the first of the month area because that's when he got his
Got us
money.
checked.
Yes.
Okay, so he invited you over. All right, where were you at when you got that call?
Where was I at?
On R14?
Yes, sir.
And then you walked there.
Yes.
Okay, then what?
And then we started smoking. And then I wouldn't do the things he wanted to, so he aggressed me.
What
Yeah.
type of things? Go ahead and be
There's
specific.
nothing you're going to say to finish up, because we understand.
This is to your benefit.
Tried to move away from him, and he got aggressive with me. And I just got scared, and he grabbed me, and then he tried to get me first, and I just grabbed away from him.
What do you mean he tried to get you? You gotta try to
Yeah,
be as
the steak
descriptive
knife.
as you can.
Okay, there's a statement.
He had a steak knife, and he tried to get me with the steak knife, and I grabbed it away from him, and I went like this, and
Where did you get him?
like right here.
What happened after you got him there?
I didn't know what to do, so I pulled him off to the side, and I took off.
Okay, where did this happen at? When that happened? Where were you at in the apartment?
In the living room.
All right, so you got him here.
Yeah, so
That's
he kept trying to grab me, and I kept trying to push myself off of him. And then I grabbed him like this to push myself away from him. And I could have, I was scared.
You were in front of him,
Yes, I was.
not behind him.
No, I
Like
wasn't behind him.
this.
I never
You were
did
in
that.
front of him.
I was in front of him.
You said he had it.
The story buckles under its own weight, a sheet tossed, a body dragged, a memory that edits itself mid-sentence. Geography inside the apartment betrays him. The blood trail maps a pursuit, not a retreat. Lakewood's summer heat can smudge odors and timelines, but it can't erase sequence. By the time he admits, "I did it there," the room has already heard it twice from physics and from stains.
I grabbed it out of this hand, right through there.
So you had cuts to this hand
Yes, sir.
from what happened? And were they
When I
deep?
grabbed them like this,
Were they deep?
they were pretty
Like,
deep.
did you need stitches deep or not
No,
that deep?
not that deep, because I yanked it away.
Did he just stop moving at that point?
I don't know if he did or not. I just threw a sheet over him and I left.
That's not the full story.
I
Where
dragged
is-
him right into the room right there.
When did you do that? Right
And
after?
they're saying that when I grabbed him, I threw him down, I drug him into the room. I don't know if he was still breathing or not.
Okay. Okay, so you drug him you drug him from the living room, and then what room did you have to drag him through?
I drug him to the kitchen,
Okay, and then where did you end up with him?
right there by the bedroom.
Okay, and then did you throw anything on top of him?
I threw a sheet on top of him.
Okay. All right.
Well, it looked like a sheet. I don't know what it
You-
was. I just,
Clothes maybe, whatever.
whatever. I just threw on top of him.
All right. Did you take anything out of the lockbox that was in the bedroom?
And I didn't take nothing out of the lockbox.
Why would your DNA be on the lockbox?
Because I've messed with that lockbox 1,000 times.
Okay, fair enough.
They gave us watches out of that lockbox, to do like papers, like I said. But
Okay.
this time he wanted more.
All right. So, how many times, and you don't have to give me the exact number, but just estimate, how many times have you been over Maurice's apartment before that night?
Probably 100 times.
Okay. And out of that 100 times, how many times did you guys have, like, that he gave you money or gave you drugs or something to fool around with it?
100 times.
What was the purpose of moving him from one room to another?
I was scared.
Okay.
Well, I mean, fair enough.
I
I'm
didn't
just
know
wondering.
somebody would walk to the door.
in your mind,
You had
what was-
1,000 people coming in and out of there all the time.
Okay. Now you said that you changed right there, but he's way smaller than you. It's not like you put his clothes on.
He
What did
wore
you change
twice
into?
his- I put a pair of jogging shorts on.
I mean, obviously, the giant elephant in the room. Why were you just too scared to think straight to call us and say, "Hey, this guy just attacked me"?
I was high too.
Okay. What were you guys
Plus,
smoke?
I'm paranoid schizophrenic. When I start thinking of hallucinations, it's just
Okay.
my wife didn't know nothing about this.
Okay.
What about the knife? Did you leave it there or take it with you?
Now I put it in the bag and took it with me.
Okay.
And was it from his apartment?
Yes,
The
sir.
knife was from his apartment.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What happened to those items?
I threw them in the garbage.
Okay. On 114th.
Yes, in the dumpster.
Anybody else assist you in any way after the fact?
Then the pivot. He shields Rachel with insistence so eager it clangs. Lovers don't usually file affidavits for each other mid-interview unless they sense the ground opening. Detectives let him talk, and he fills the room with timestamps. Arrived at night, left near noon, 20 minutes scrubbing heat from his hands while the building lost its hot water. You don't rinse away motive. You just set the temperature for a better print.
Wife didn't help you out in any way? Didn't ask you? Did she even know that you had bloody clothes, or did she know anything about this at all?
Well, I wanted to keep it. I didn't know how to go about it, so I didn't want to tell anybody.
Okay. So she
Are
has
you
no
guys still
knowledge?
together?
Yes, we are.
Is she living at home? Does she have a home she's staying in, or is she on the street?
She lives in Parma right now with my ex-wife's daughter.
Okay, where's that at? In?
Just the city. What city's in it?
No, it's in Parma.
Okay.
But you're living on the street?
Yes, because I wouldn't change my ways, and this time I tried to change my ways, but seems like everything's going wrong. We just got back together today.
You never once mentioned this to her? How come you never? I mean, am I correct in my observations that this has probably been weighing on you pretty hard?
Yes.
How come you never came to tell us what happened? You just hope
Well,
that no one
you
ever
had to
found
think that
out?
we were eventually going to know, because mean, we just have to wait for the lab stuff to come back, you know?
I know.
We got the
I don't want
cane.
enough CSI to know that.
Yeah, we got the cane with your DNA on it that you left there, you know, all that stuff. The video cameras there of you going in and out. The place across the street. Was it light out when you left?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I mean, it was early in the morning.
How long were you in there? If you got called up at night to go there?
I was in there from like maybe 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, all the way up until like 11, 12 o'clock.
In the afternoon the next day? When did the incident happen? Was it still dark out?
When he started running out of money, and I tried to tell him like I don't want to do nothing. And
was that the next day at daylight, or was it still at night at dark?
It was daytime by then. It was like 11 a.m. around that time.
How long do you think you stayed in there after the stabbing happened? Because you
Maybe
left the water
20
on, you
minutes.
tried to wash up, and
Yeah, you left the water running.
Like 20 minutes.
Okay.
you ran the whole apartment building out of hot water.
Yeah, when you left the hot water on, it
Ran the whole building out
and
of
it
the
just
tank.
turned into a. Charles, it may not. I mean, you may be. I understand that this is a lot that is going on there right now, but I mean, you telling us your version of things is definitely going to help the situation because,
I'm still going down for murder, man.
But you're charged.
The call is the crucible. Rachel's tone morphs from cool steel to practiced confusion, and Charles, part penitent, part performer, admits he told the truth. Her slip is the louder one. She knew more than she wore in the interview chair. Dependency often scripts these romances need denial and a pact to outrun consequences. But phones, like knives, leave edges. The line clicks. The narrative hardens.
Hello?
Charlie?
Yeah.
What's going on? I've been calling. Hold on 1 second. Let me turn my flashlight off. Oh my god.
Rachel, man. They got me on murder.
Charlie, what are you talking about?
They got me on murder, man.
You're lying, right?
I'm not lying. The detective's right here, I'll tell you.
For murder? For what? Like, I don't understand. Like, what's going on? Like, I don't understand. Like, your probation officer called today, and I talked to her, and I told her what was going on as far as me being in the hospital. And so I don't know, where's murder case coming up from?
From a year ago? Well, they got me for murder.
I don't understand.
Oh, Rachel, I don't know. I told the detectives what they wanted to hear. I told them I did it.
Why would you admit to something you didn't do? Charlie!
The guy was trying to do something to me, and I told him the truth.
Oh my god, I'm like, I'm having a hard time processing this right now. I don't understand, like...
Well, they even had your picture in front of me, too.
My picture for what?
Because you're my wife.
Well, I understand that. I mean, I've been calling up there, like, I even left a message to some detective that's supposed to be, like, in charge of whatever. I don't know. Because they didn't tell me. I called the Lakewood Police
I can only
Station
get
and...
one place at a time. I can't answer the phone if I'm talking to you.
No, he was talking to me. I'm in the room with him right now.
This is crazy, Charlie.
Yeah.
I even left a decay on the scene too. That I was using David's cane.
So you did take the cane. Everybody asked you, Charlie, if you took the cane, and you said, no, I left it upstairs at your mom's.
I thought I did.
In the endgame, Love Talk returns Love You Too, as if tenderness can file a suppression motion. Charles asks whether Rachel will be arrested. The answer is no, unless she walks in and claims the blade. Justice isn't sentimental. It's procedural. And procedure says the person who leaves the cane, the stains, the timeline, leaves with the sentence. The rest live with the echo.
They wanted me to tell the truth, so I told them the truth. They said they have it. My DNA's there, Rachel. Everything is there. And I wanted to tell my side of the story. He told me to tell my side of the story. So I did.
You want to know what's really crazy?
What's that?
Like, I can't believe all this is happening.
Not my birthday too, right? And we just started talking to each other again, man.
I thought, like,
They told me if everything's the truth, like I said it is, you know, I should be all right. You hear me?
what's really crazy is I thought that you were lying about all that. You hear me?
Creativity like police work thrives on revision. We chase a messy first draft of truth, follow the stains, and rewrite until motive finally fits the room. Charles Muscatello's draft ends where all bad copies do. He pled guilty on the 21st of June 2018 and drew life with parole possible after 20 years. His fatal errors: mistaking chaos for cover, romance for refuge, and laughter for absolution. Rachel avoids charges by calling his confession unbelievable, a convenient faith, but effective. The lesson is darkly simple. You can't launder intent with hot water nor outsource conscience to the person who loves you least when it matters most. If this chapter says anything, it's that stories outlive storytellers, and evidence is a better editor than any alibi. Subscribe for more interrogations where psychology meets procedure. Drop your questions below and share this with someone who thinks secrets are safe until the tape starts rolling.